Hello and welcome to another video, and today I'm going to be looking at the Turtle Beach REACT-R controller. So it looks very much like a sort of Xbox One controller-ish. I've got an Xbox One S controller. I'll hold it next to it in a second just to show you. Not quite a second, maybe a little bit later. But just show you, I was going to say, I've started this on a day which, earlier on today, it was very nice and bright outside, and as is always the way in the UK, it can change on a sixpence, and it's now absolutely bucketing down in the afternoon. I'm so sick of it. Anyways, also just wearing my Star Wars t-shirt, which I used recently the other day to go and see the Star Trek, the motion picture director's edition, on at the cinema, and so I try and confuse all the Trekkies and the Warsies or whatever they're called. If they saw someone wearing a Star Wars t-shirt, gonna watch a Star Trek film. Anyway, so you want to hear about my problems? It's not a bad film. I obviously I saw it many years ago, but I saw it on TV, and it wasn't obviously not a very good presentation on my TV, and cropped to 4:3, and now it's on the big screen with a whole load of whiz-bang special effects thrown in. Looked great, but very long film. Doesn't need to be as long. Anyways, so we've got the box there. On the back, it just shows you a few bits and pieces, which I'll just cover in a bit as well. It's probably not gone into a bit out of focus there, I don't know, but we'll have a look. You've got Turtle Beach audio controls, superhuman hearing, 2 mappable quick action buttons, and a headset connection. So as you notice, you sort of take this out of the box. There comes a controller. There's a little bit more to it than that. You do get a sort of little compartment. I have given this a bit of a test. You do get like a sort of little compostable bag that it comes in to. Better if I hold it closer, isn't it? Little compostable bag to put it in, which you can just sort of bin that, and then that's all good. So just have a look at that in a minute. But also you get how many meters is this? Probably says on the instructions, I didn't read it. It's about sort of 3 meter. It's very long. About sort of 3 meter. Is that 3 meters? Sorry, more like 2 meters. 2 meters lead, but it's USB-C. So if that's if it comes up, USB-C anyway. So what I've got here just to compare. Got got the new one and an Xbox One S controller, which I've got. If you sort of hold them together, the REACT-R, it's difficult to show really. When you got them together, the REACT-R is very sort of slightly taller. You can see sort of, maybe that's sort of easier way to show it. Go that way. It's a little bit taller, the REACT-R, than the Xbox One S, but to all intents and purposes, it's pretty much the same. I'll see a few extra bits and pieces. We've got the 2. I've not tried this yet. Have you played? Basically, I've played just a few games on it so far, and yes, it does feel a little bit different getting used to it than the Xbox One S controller, but it takes seconds to get used to it, and then you're perfectly fine. Then on the front here, obviously we've got the 2 joystick buttons, D-pad. That's obviously a little bit different than a Xbox One S D-pad. But I understand this can be used as, again, I've not used it for volume up, volume down, all that kind of palaver. So there are 3 little buttons at the top, which I'll go into. Then you've got all the usual sort of Xbox buttons. There's sort of 2 ones at the side there are Xbox. That one doesn't light up. There's a little bit of a, I'll hold it closer. Yeah, the big X doesn't light up. The little, what looks like a pinhole there, that does light up when it's connected, because it's a wired controller. But then I use mine wired anyway to the PC, because I can't be bothered putting batteries in. They don't last forever. And there's a little button under there, which is like a sort of download the Turtle Beach Control Center, which I've not done as of yet, but I'll give that a go before I finish. The 3 buttons at the top. The one, do in order. That's the well, really that's where we start. Superhuman hearing. Looking at the instructions, I've not tried this as of yet, because I think I've got to install the control center thing first. The superhuman hearing is basically if you've got sort of claims you'll hear people coming up behind you better. I think it's if you've got the, because you can put a control headset through the 3.5mm jack thing through there, so I'll give that a go. Yeah, it says you can hear people creeping up behind you better and hear other sounds better and that kind of thing, so that's superhuman hearing. I'll give that a go, see if that makes any difference. In the middle, that it looks like, so that bit there looks like that triggers the volume controls on this thing there. And then here, here we have the mic you mute, so basically so no one can hear you talking. So in gaming, no one can hear you scream. So there we go, and yeah, let's show them before. There's two little back button things on the back there, and that's the USB-C thingy on the back there to charge, or to charge, well, not to charge it, but just to connect it up. So I did nip out a little bit earlier and got rained on. Not happy about that. Anyways, let's get to the game.
Okay, so we're in Gloomwood, and it may possibly not be the best game to use with a controller, given the fact that at the moment you can't use a controller, you have to use a keyboard and mouse. But it is a game which should really make use of the superhuman hearing feature, because the only other games I can think of that might be playing with it are sort of racing games, and a game like this is one where you can sort of creep about and you might hear someone coming up behind you. So basically I've got the headset. Now it's got separate connections for the audio that comes out of the PC and the microphone. So the microphone one's still going into the PC, the audio output is coming through the controller, out the bottom of the controller, and into my headphones. So it's a little bit of a faff, and I'm trying to make sure I don't sort of knock anything off the table and break it. But I'll just, while I'm here, I will just sort of test the button I pointed out that does the volume. So I press that, and it lights up as shown on the box. It lights up in red, and I'll be honest, I can't tell any difference when I press the up and down buttons on the little D-pad. I know if you do left and right, then that supposedly sorts out the game chat, but I think that's more for, well, it's going to be for a headset that has everything going through one actual plug that goes into the PC normally, whereas mine's split into two, so I'm not going to be able to, I'm not doing a game chat thing in this game anyway, so this is going to I can't sort of recreate it with this. But the volume up and down basics, going up and down on the D-pad controller, is not doing anything at all. So maybe it's not compatible with this. I mean, it's a HyperX headset. Maybe it's not compatible with this particular headset. I don't know. But so I might not be able to get anything out of the superhuman hearing. But I will put that on. Oh, hang on. I've just put it on, and I can hear a little bit extra. You might not be able to hear this yourself. When I sort of press it so it comes on, to be quite frank, it sounds just like there's a little bit of noise reduction turned off. So that's the sort of difference it seems to make. What I will do in that case, I will go around to where there's a bad guy. Now, I know there's a bad guy who walks around here. He'll be on his way very shortly. Okay. Press the button to go on. He's going to walk back in a minute. Yeah, he doesn't like me. Oh, go away. How? Excuse me, how did he get under that? Oh, he broke it. You rotter. So, just get back in the light again. When I've got it on, I'll be honest, it doesn't make an awful lot of difference. It just sort of makes it a little bit louder in my ears, as if I've switched noise reduction off. That's all it seems to do, quite frankly. Yeah, so quite why the volume up and down doesn't make a difference, I don't know. Just put that on, try that again. No, it's not making a difference whatsoever. Yeah, so let's say the superhuman hearing is one louder. One louder. Post a comment in the comments if you know what film that's from. Now, obviously, one thing I can't test with this. Turn that off. One thing I can't test with this game is the rumble feature, because there's supposed to be a rumble feature with this game. So I will change to a game that's got a rumble feature, and we will go from there. Okay, let's just run and get into a car. Let's try that again. Oh, nice fast one. Yeah, get up. Get up. Get up, you silly Billy. Oh, it's a very nice car. Let's just actually I wanted to try and have a punch up first. Oh no, he's run off. No, don't go and take that. Let's just run and let's go in this. Could do with that car, I really could. So I'll be honest. So I'm feeling it. I'm getting the feeling of the rumble when I'm driving along. Well, I guess the car will be rumbling. If I hit something, sorry. Yeah, sometimes I'm getting the rumble feel. I didn't feel it then. I'm just trying to crash into things, not people. Try and crash into the wall. Yeah, it's sort of hit and miss as to whether I sort of feel something. Maybe that's how the game is, I don't know. But anyway, let's try and find someone. Let's try and have a... I don't want to hit a woman. I want to try and have a bit of a punch up. See what it feels like when I'm having a punch up. Oh dear. Didn't mean to do that, but never mind. Right. Come here. Now hit me back.
You're my bitch now. Bitch ass suck.
Come on, hit me back. Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit of a rumble. Come on then. A slight rumble.
My turn, motherfucker.
It's very subtle bit of rumble. Oh, that's a, yeah. Basically, like when I crash into things, sometimes I get a rumble, sometimes or get a bit of a rumble, sometimes I don't. So, yeah. So as I mentioned earlier, there's a Turtle Beach Control Center software, and so I thought I'd go in there, see if I can try and, sort anything out in there. Well, obviously I've not got the Velocity 1 flight controller, but the controller I have got does look a lot like the Recon controller, albeit with a lot less buttons on the top. However, I tried it, and it wouldn't make any difference with that, and I tried sort of updating this software to see if it would bring in the REACT-R controller. Nothing at all. So, whatever reason, the REACT-R controller has been released, but they don't yet have it listed in their Turtle Beach Control Center, even though the documentation states you should be able to use that. But all is not completely lost though, because now I've when I recorded myself showing you the controller before, I was in a different room to where I am now, and I can't really sort of set it up the same. But this is the website where it shows you the REACT-R control, the button mapping. So I'll dig out a link to this and put it in the video description. But safe to say, I'll go through what's on here. Safe to say it does work. I did try it. It does work. So you just basically, to create a new, if you're into button mapping, I'm not, to be honest, then you just double tap the button in the middle, which is the D-pad shift button. Then you've got the two action buttons on the back. Press the action button you'd like to map to once. Then press the button that you'd like to map that action button once. So for A, you want to sort of have it mapped to that controller button on the back. Then yes, you press that first. Then that's the top one twice, so the middle D-pad shift button twice. The action button on the back once. Then the one you want to replicate, like the A button there, and you're done. You can then delete it by basically, again, doing double on the shift button, and then just pressing the action button twice to remove it. But quite frankly, you can just not press that button again. That's another option. So that does work. So overall, it's a bit of a mixed bag. Just looking at the controller itself, the mapping of the buttons work fine. It depends what's important to you. The mapping of the buttons works fine. The volume up and down, when I connected my headset through the controller, didn't work. Whether, obviously I can't put the chat thing through that because it's got separate cables for that. Maybe a HyperX headset doesn't work with this one, I don't know. Maybe you need to have a Turtle Beach headset in order to make that aspect of it work. But the Superhuman hearing just made it sound slightly louder. Not to any. It's just like if you switched off the noise reduction on some headphones. That's basically the difference. It just make you want to go back to having the noise reduction on, basically. When it comes to the rumble, I went back and tried the Xbox One S controller again, and while I got some rumble on the game with the REACT-R controller, I sort of did it occasionally, didn't do it all the time. I did get a lot more precise rumbling with the Xbox One S controller. So if that's really important to you, then you'll get more of a kick with that. Didn't really do an awful lot when I sort of went in to punch someone, but as I was driving along and bumping into things, there was a lot more of that, a lot more of the rumbling then, and getting rumbled about basically. In terms of the price, it depends what's important to you. The features that do work on the REACT-R, is that okay for you? Do you need the Superhuman hearing? So it didn't do an awful lot of difference. It just tended to make it sound a little bit louder. The mic didn't work when I tried to use mine, but they say mine's a HyperX headset. Maybe you need a Turtle Beach headset to go through with it. You need to work out which features are necessary for you, which aren't, to make your decision. If mapping the buttons is essential, then go for that. When it comes to the price, I know sort of a modern Xbox Series X controller and a PS5 controller are about 60 quid. Looking on Amazon at the moment, the Xbox Series S controller, they're about 55 quid normally. They're currently, as I speak, 45 quid. And that's for a wireless one as well. For the REACT-R, it's 35 quid. So then, because I was going to say it's a £10 difference, but then the Xbox One doesn't have the Superhuman hearing or any sort of volume controls if they work, and if that's important to you. It doesn't appear to have any sort of mapping. There's no sort of extra buttons to map it to either. Again, depends what's important to you as to which one you go with. So I can't really give you a definitive conclusion. You'll have to decide yourself based on the information I've given you, so you can make an informed choice. Anyway, hope that helped you anyway. I'll put links in the video description to Amazon so you can go and buy it if you want to. And then let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. In the meantime, please like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe if you haven't already, click on the bell for all the notifications, and cue Genesis.